Giving Back, sponsored by Patterson Legal Group.
We're excited to partner with Patterson Legal Group in our latest edition of Giving Back, where local nonprofits are recognized for the great work they're doing to make our communities better places to live. Patterson Legal Group recognizes a new nonprofit and presents them with a $500 check. This week, we're proud to spotlight the Combat Air Museum. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Tyler from Patterson Legal Group. This week's Giving Back recipient is the Combat Air Museum. We're here with Kevin. Kevin, tell us a little bit about the group.
Our museum is real involved in youth aviation, and we're looking forward to this donation to help us move that forward.
Well, that's awesome. And for all your great work, we're excited to give you a check today for $500.
Thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it.
Of course.
And joining us now is Kevin Drulo with the Combat Air Museum. Good morning.
Good morning.
Great to have you on the show with us this morning. For our newer viewers, introduce us a little bit to the Combat Air Museum. You know, I feel like it's one of the best kept secrets at Topeka, and it shouldn't be a best kept secret.
Well, it is one of the best kept secrets, and we're doing our best to fix that. So when the air base closed in '73, it took a few years, but by 1977, our museum was established. And we're one of the few air museums that's actually located on the flight line of an active airfield, and that gives us a lot of advantages. Over the years, we've collected 47 aircraft. They're all on display. We operated some of those aircraft up until the mid-90s when the cost of flying and maintaining airplanes exceeded our fundraising capability. So we stepped back from that and still have the airplanes on display, keep them up to code, and look forward to sharing them with our visitors.
It's such a wonderful museum. Like you said you have so many planes. You have 2 hangars now of planes. It's incredible. And I think speaking as an adult, we lose some of that luster of seeing kind of vehicles, seeing planes, but then every time I go there, I'm reminded of just how cool planes are.
Yeah, so we're biased, we would agree.
Yes, of course. And so talk about some of the other services you're offering at the museum. I understand like there's camps and there's kind of little...
well, a range of things. So most folks know you can come to a museum, see things on display and learn about them. Not only do you just get to look at them, but some of them you can go inside and learn more about those. So you can visit the museum, go inside some of the aircraft, see aircraft operating at the airfield, but beyond that, we do additional things. We host aviation merit badge classes on request. Scout troops seem to always want to come out on the coldest day of the winter and sleep in the hangar and in our big helicopter, but I teach aviation merit badge classes. It's real rewarding to see kids get involved in that. There's a lot to learn, but they're able to pass the quiz afterwards, and so they learn about that. We also provide, my favorite day at the airport is Girls in Aviation Day. We're coming up on that on Saturday, September 21st. We have free admission that day, and it's so much fun. The idea is to get girls out to the airport to meet women who fly and fix and support aircraft. We let boys in too, and boys of all ages, but the idea is for girls to see women, meet them, and chat with them, to learn about how they got into the business and to find out girls can do anything boys can do with a flying machine.
That's wonderful. So, do you need to sign up for that at all?
No, not at all. Just we split it with the Museum of the Kansas National Guard, and they like to register to have an idea of how many folks are coming. So from 8 to 11, girls go to the National Guard Museum. Then they come to our museum after 11. We learned the hard way that little girls can only listen to people talk for so long. So with one exception, we don't have speakers anymore. A lot of informational booths, activities for kids. The 2 speakers we do have are a couple female air traffic controllers who give an outstanding, short, age-appropriate explanation of how they keep airplanes from bumping into one another. And even the parents come out amazed. So that's one of our favorite things. And then the kids get to go out on the flight line and tour a variety of military, civilian, and law enforcement aircraft, and it's all free that day.
That's amazing. It really is fantastic what you guys are doing.
And we also offer young aviator classes. We've just put that on. That's 2 one-week courses during the summer. And we really rely on our neighbors at the airfield. We have a lot of activities at our airport, a lot of hands-on things the kids love. But then we get to go visit the 190th Air Refueling Wing and tour a Boeing Stratotanker. We get to visit the control tower, best seat in the house, and kids can see how, firsthand, how controllers work to keep aircraft separate and safe. And we visit our neighbors at the 108th Kansas Army National Guard helicopter unit, and they get to crawl all around a Black Hawk helicopter and learn about those. So a lot more goes on at the museum besides just walking through. And then if folks want a speaker or somebody to come out and talk about aviation, or put on a small display, we do that as well. So it's not all the activities just take place in the hangar.
That is absolutely phenomenal, everything that you offer. And also there's the flight simulator as well, right?
It is, and
Yes.
it's no extra charge for that. And we've got several volunteers who staff that, and any of our visitors care to try their hand at flying a sim are welcome to. I got to give a shout out to one of my favorite volunteers. John Plum is 92 years old. He comes out 7 days a week to staff the sim, and he's uniquely qualified to do that because in 1955 he was a newly assigned lieutenant co-pilot at Forbes Air Force Base on a piston-powered KC-97 refueling tanker. Later he cross-trained to the then new KC-135, and after 20 years in the Air Force and Air National Guard, flying for American Airlines and clocking nearly 30,000 hours in the air, he's still serving, coming out to the museum and sharing his expertise with any of the visitors that care to hop in the sim.
I love that. It's such wonderful stuff going on over there. Such great knowledge you can learn. And to make all this work, obviously, donations are so important for you guys. How's this donation from Patterson Legal Group been able to help you guys out?
Well, it's going to be wonderful. We've got several things going on. The latest thing we're about to undertake, 2 years ago we gained an F-15 on loan from the Air Force Museum. It was the 7th one ever built, only used for flight tests. And once flight test was done, it went to an air base in Illinois to be used as a ground trainer. And it suffered through a couple spurious color schemes. And anyway, it's come to us now. We're going to restore it to its original flight test colors. And it's going to take a lot of sandpaper, a lot of other supplies to prepare the airplane for paint. And their donation will help with that. Some of that will go to helping some of our youth aviation activities. I want to build a small wind tunnel, and it may end up helping with that. So we will see. Plenty of places to spend it at the Combat Air Museum. The hard part is deciding where to go.
How to spend it. So many dreams, so many ideas.
But we're grateful for their assistance.
And for you now, what's it mean for you to be a part of the museum?
Well, I enjoy it. I've spent my entire adult life working on civilian and military aircraft, and I'm not 18 anymore, so it's nice to work with youngsters, especially coming up, who are interested in airplanes, and asking questions and telling them how things once were, how modern airplanes have evolved from some of the early airplanes we have on display, wooden and fabric covered airplanes, to modern aircraft made out of composite materials, things like that, and everything in between. So that's what I enjoy most, is chatting with kids and helping answer their questions.
That's wonderful. How long have you been at the Combat Air Museum now?
Since 2016.
Okay, so a good chunk of years now. Have you seen like the younger community kind of grow up with the museum at all?
Absolutely. It's, some youngsters that came out years and years ago just to visit have come on board now as some of our younger volunteers, whether they're dusting airplanes or kids nowadays. They're pretty well qualified to run our flight simulator as well. One of the best examples, a young man who is now entering his senior year at the Air Force Academy, blames us for that because he came out as a youngster dusting airplanes and could do anything. A very good self-starter, and no surprise that he's found a way to the Air Force Academy.
That's phenomenal. I love hearing those kind of stories.
My favorite poster child for kids that spent too much time at the museum and what it can lead to.
Of course. And yeah, like, can you speak on maybe some of the other feedback that people have said about the museum when they go see it? Because we've mentioned before, it's kind of like the best kept secret at Topeka that we want to, we don't want it to be a best kept secret anymore. We want people to know about it and just know how amazing the museum is.
Absolutely. The one comment that we hear more often than anything else is folks are amazed when they come to our museum that they can walk into some of the aircraft, touch some of the aircraft, this and that. They aren't kept behind purple velvet barriers, and most people are respectful of that. Once in a while you find evidence where someone has touched or opened something, but for the most part people are just grateful to get close enough. In a lot of cases, touch or go inside an airplane that somebody in their family once served in. It's one thing to see at a museum, it's another to, like our Huey helicopter, knowing the grandpa flew those or got in and out of them a lot in Vietnam or something. It really brings history home to when you actually touch it or see it or climb inside.
It really, I think that's such an important part of the experience. Or again, I've talked about this before, and I've been there, and that the child in me really comes to life. My eyes widen, like, oh yeah, like I remember how cool aircrafts are that you guys clearly have not forgotten, and to be able to walk into the planes, to kind of maybe like see the seats, sit down a little bit if you can. It really is a different experience than just being stuck behind ropes.
In a few cases, some of our volunteers actually flew or maintained or supported the aircraft that are in the hangar.
That's even the best part. You have the volunteers there to kind of talk about some of the aircrafts. I love you can do the flight simulator. You have pilots there helping you, kind of teach you how to fly, and with their own stories of what their experience.
A lot of veterans there. Not all of our volunteers are veterans. You don't have to be. If someone's interested and just has an interest in aircraft, we can teach them, but that's one advantage. A lot of our tour guides, a lot of our volunteers are veterans who, in some cases, crewed, served, flew on the very aircraft we have on display, and you can hear history firsthand in that case.
It's wonderful. And so you guys are doing so much. And how can people help you guys continue this mission of yours to keep the museum so family friendly for everybody?
Well, we always need more volunteers. We never have quite enough. And again, you don't have to have a background in aviation to volunteer with us. Lots of things to do, and we can provide some training otherwise. Donations are great. We used to be able to say that we received no government funding. We took a little bit during the Triple P program during COVID, and this summer we participated in Kansas Tourism's Sunflower Summer program.
Yes.
That was fantastic, and the best part of that was that families came and said they were able to attend through that program that they couldn't have afforded otherwise, and it got folks out to a lot of venues that they might not have seen otherwise. But that's spending your time or sending us a donation. Either one will make a positive impact on the Combat Air Museum.
Wonderful. And what's the best way for people to learn more about you guys, if they want to donate or they just want to hear more history with you?
Well, you can enjoy the museum from the comfort of your own home through our website. You'll find a lot of things there, including our newsletter. You look at past newsletters. It'll tell you what's gone on, what's coming up. Then go to our Facebook page. We try to update that several times a week, catching folks up on what's going on at the museum. And then my favorite thing is to just come on out and have a look around. Welcome to call too. We can answer your questions over the phone, but why not come on out to the museum and see it for yourself?
Fantastic. Well, Kevin, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and thank you for all the work you're doing out there in the community through the museum. It's wonderful. It is such a wonderful place to be. Everyone, please head on over to the Combat Air Museum. I cannot recommend it enough.
Well,
and again, if you want to also learn more, you can visit combatairmuseum.org.
Giving Back, sponsored by Patterson Legal Group.